Alrighty then, what do you say? What do you know? Here's what I know. Bohica, Bernie. They're not going to let you have it, Bernie. You're out. Bernie's out. Michigan, Missouri, Mississippi. Biden won across the board by a lot. Bernie got like maybe 15%, I think, in each of them. Drilling down into Mississippi, he won. Biden got 81% of the vote, 161,000 people casting their ballot. Bernie got 15.1% of the vote, only 30,000 people. Meanwhile, Joe Biden got 161. Bernie got 30. That's 191 to my math. Adding in the others at 3.5%. It looks like 190, let's call it 198%. 198,000 voted. Meanwhile, Donald Trump got 177,787 votes, 178,000, with another 22 and a half, only 180,000 Republicans showed up. Now, that actually is a little bit disconcerting because Mississippi is the only state today that had congressional primaries. We're going to get to that in a minute. So I would have actually expected to see a higher total for Donald Trump than 184,000. That when Joe Biden gets 164 and Bernie gets 30, which is 194, 195. See, there's like 200,000 Democrats that voted. And again, this is with 80% of the precincts in. And only 185,000, 186,000 Republicans showed up. That is the first thing that concerns me about Mississippi. And here is the second thing. In Mississippi 3 and Mississippi 4, we have two very, 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 very squishy Republican incumbents. First term incumbent Michael Guest in Mississippi 3. He got 90% of the vote, 55,000, to James Tulp, the conservative talk radio show host, who was the MAGA Institute certified candidate. And again, remember, the MAGA Institute certification in these early races really hasn't meant that much because the voters haven't known about it, quite frankly, because, like I told you before, we got set back 4 months in building the website by somebody that wasted our time. And so we're a little late getting started in this cycle. I did today, we certified Lee Murphy running at large in Delaware. That primary is April 24th. Lee is already MAGA Institute certified, and he will be using the certification in all of his campaign materials. So we're going to have an impact there. It'll be interesting to see because Delaware is such a, lately, such a deep red state held by the Democrats, but it did have Pete DuPont, and then the next governor was also a Republican, so it's gone back and forth. They've had Joe Biden, but they've had Republican governors. Pete DuPont actually did a great job for Delaware, and then Delaware seems to have kind of slipped into the Democrat column, so we'll see if we can get it back there. More and more, the candidates are going to be using the MAGA certification as we get ahead of the curve, right? You know, we wanted to hit the ones that were immediate. And we certified James Tulp, who got 10% of the vote, and Robert Deming, who got 14.4% of the vote. But the actual numbers, Michael Guest got 55,790, and this is with 85% of the precincts reporting. James Tulp only pulled in 6,340 so far. That tells me, too, that combined with the low turnout for the president, which indicates low turnout overall. And in Mississippi 4, the incumbent Steve Palazzo, who was highly problematic, got only 67% of the vote with 41,000 votes. Robert Deming got 14.4 with 8,800 votes so far, with 83% of the precincts reporting. But the race has already been called for Palazzo. There were two other candidates, Carl Boynton and Steve Hickman, in that race. Robert Deming was our MAGA Institute certified candidate. And remember, we can have more than one MAGA Institute certified candidate in a district, but in Mississippi 4, we only certified Robert Deming. So that's another 19%. So 19%, 14%, you know, you look at a 34%, 33%. Steve Palazzo pulled in 2/3 of the vote. So what Palazzo, the incumbent, and Michael Guest, the incumbent, again, both of them are highly problematic. I'm not going to go so far as to call them rhinos, but they are not, they were not in the running for MAGA certification. Let's put it that way. It tells me that the people in Mississippi maybe aren't as America first as they might like to think that they are. Okay, low turnout in a congressional primary season. People, it is imperative. It is more important. It is more important to vote in the primary than it is in the general. Why? Because in the primary, you're determining who your candidates for the general are going to be. You know, my mother, God love her, always was an independent because she didn't want to belong to a party. It's like, well, New York is a closed primary state. And I said, why would you only want to vote for other people's candidates? You almost always vote for the Republican anyway, so why wouldn't you want it to be a Republican that you voted for in the primary? If you don't like the Republican that's voting, register as a Republican and vote in the primary and get a different Republican in there. That's what we're trying to do with MAGA Institute. Primary, you know, and it's an education process. I know that all of you get it, but you need to tell 10 of their friends, and you need to tell each of those 10 friends to tell 10 of their friends and keep it going on. Primaries are essential. Primaries are how we get Dave Bratt unseating Eric Cantor, who was in the House leadership. Okay? We need to be more active in the primaries. And Mississippi's vote tonight tells me that people are happy with the status quo. They're just going by name recognition. I'll just vote for the incumbent. You know, I'll vote for the Republican. I did my job. Like, well, no, you didn't, because there were two really good America First candidates that would have been staunch supporters of the president. And I'm not saying that Michael Guest and Stephen Palazzo won't. Clearly, they both voted against the impeachment, both articles. But on some of the border issues and some of the other issues that are critical America First agenda issues, not so solid. Not so solid. H-2B visa support and a couple other things and some personal peccadillos as well in there with one of the candidates. So in your state, please be active and volunteer. Help us out. We've had a tremendous outpouring of support. The people we've reached out to vet candidates so far have been fantastic. The people that have been vetting candidates for us have been doing a fantastic job. We've had people come forward saying, I'd really love to help you, but nobody in my state is active, so let me do another state. Other people are saying, you know, I really know my area. Let me vet the candidates in my district. And it's just been phenomenal, especially for a grassroots organization. And again, we are 100% organic, 100% grassroots, nothing AstroTurf about us. That's the way it is. That's the way it always has been with Brooke and me in our entire political careers. And that's the way it always will be. That we will promise you. Is there's not going to be any AstroTurf nonsense going on here. So that's the wrap up. Bohica Bernie. Disappointing turnout in Mississippi with the Republicans. Again, that was the only congressional race. But I've got something else for you. Laura dug this out. Did you know? I didn't know. Did you know that Tulsi Gabbard was the vice chair of the Democrat National Committee under Debbie Washer-Hare-Schmutz, 2013 to 2016, in that she allegedly resigned in order to endorse Bernie? Yeah, that's probably not why she resigned. She was there with Seth Rich. She knew Seth Rich What did she know about Sethridge? What did she know about the Russia hack that wasn't a Russia hack because that data couldn't have been downloaded over the internet given the speeds with which that data was downloaded? You look at the start time, you look at the stop time, you do the calculation. Yeah, that couldn't have been, even on a T1 connection, that couldn't have been done remotely. It wasn't Russia, it wasn't Ukraine, it wasn't Gucci for 2.0, it wasn't Julian Assange, it wasn't anybody other than most likely Sethridge using a thumb drive, because it was almost certainly done with a thumb drive. It was a local penetration. Just like what? Just like the Sony hack. Remember, they kept trying to say that Sony was hacked by Japan or China? China, I think it was. And that China's trying to steal our intellectual property. It's like, no, it was a disgruntled employee that downloaded it to a thumb drive. And they could determine that forensically. Why couldn't the FBI determine that forensically? Oh, yeah, because they never saw the server. CrowdStrike only gave them images of the server. Well, guess what? Images is just like putting all your files onto a thumb drive. It doesn't take a whole image of your drive. It just moves the files over. It doesn't tell you about the network pockets. It doesn't tell you about all the different pieces of data that are on a server hard drive that you would be able to examine if you had the physical server. Having an image of a server is not the same thing as having a server, but they want you to think it, because they know that 99.99999% of the people have no technical understanding of what a server even is, much less what the difference between an image and the actual hard drive is. Okay? The image isn't a complete duplicate. The image is only a duplicate of the files. The image doesn't contain all of the information that you would need to access in order to determine whether the server was hacked, when the server was hacked, by whom the server was hacked, to what extent the server was hacked. FBI had no information. And why did they just take CrowdStrike's word for it? Because it was see nothing, hear nothing, say nothing. 21 words by the district court. And did you know that senior FBI and DOJ officials that were tied to the Carter Page FISA abuse scandal are no longer permitted? The ones that are still there, they can no longer participate in FISA court proceedings. The FISA court has banned them. The FISA court has said that this goes beyond process improvements. People have to be held accountable. The FISA court is saying, no, you can't come before this court. You are not permitted. You lied to this court. You're not permitted to come before this court anymore. Okay, so Christopher Wray needs to, he needs to either do his job or he needs to resign. And by do his job, I mean prosecute the people at FBI that committed crimes. No more of this covering up. No more reports. No more trainings. In Horowitz wasn't a cover-up because the Inspector General's job is only to report out things that need improvement, crimes that may have been committed, criminal referral, etc. Has no ability to convene a grand jury, has no ability to do anything other than report out. The Inspector General is just that. He's an inspector. He's not a prosecutor. Okay, so what we need are prosecutors to prosecute the criminals at FBI and DOJ, whether they still work there or whether they no longer work there. And yes, I am looking at you, Andy McCabe, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, and James Comey, among many others, Bill Priestap. So that's the wrap-up. I didn't know about Tulsi being the vice chair of the DNC. Laura dug that one up, so kudos to her. Now, the other day you were all laughing at me because I was all excited that I got an email from our beautiful First Lady. I never do this, but I'd love to invite you for dinner in Beverly Hills with me. And I was all excited. And then you all laughed and said, well, you all got that too. Well, yeah, but did you get a letter? Did you get a letter from Melania Trump with a check enclosed? Let's see what this is. Isn't that nice? It's an envelope to the Republican National Committee, care of Melania Trump. Melania's gonna, I can send it to Melania, and she will pass it on to the RNC. And look at this. She's given me her own personal check made to the RNC for $45. I think that that is suitable for framing. Did you get one of these? I'm betting you didn't. I'm betting you did. Alrighty then. Always good to keep laughing. We have to keep laughing despite all the insanity. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Rush out. I hear that they're running out of Twinkies. Look, this COVID-19, and I'm debating, okay? I need you to vote with me. Are we going to do the song to Come On Eileen? COVID-19, da 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 da. Or do we use Funky Cold Medina, Funky COVID-19 as the song? I'm writing a spoof. I'll let you vote. I'll put up a poll if Facebook lets me put up a poll. And you can vote whether I do Funky Cold Medina or Come On Eileen. Either way, I think we'll have some fun with it. Maybe I'll do both. Who knows? Maybe I'll do both songs. And we will go from there. Phyllis Hobson tells me Lee County is not in yet, and it is a big one in Mississippi. Let's see what Lee County brings in. Jay Eller says it is important to vote in everything in North Carolina this time. This time and every time, Jay Eller. And not just in North Carolina, but every state. Exactly. Janice Muller says, why does Kill hate Tulsi? Well, Kill hates Tulsi. And Debbie Wash Your Hair Schmutz hates Tulsi. And Bernie doesn't hate Tulsi. Julian doesn't hate Tulsi. Edward Snowden doesn't hate Tulsi. What does Tulsi know about Seth Rich? What does Tulsi know about the DNC hack? I think we know why Hillary hates Tulsi. Because Tulsi knows about Hillary. I'm surprised Tulsi's still walking around if she knows about Hillary. Colleen Deo says, Clinton and Big Mike waiting in the wings for Biden to win. They will be put in. He isn't capable. That is the thinking. Mike Val says hello. Mike did some great work for us today in Illinois vetting candidates. Colleen Dye says Tulsi's a fraud. Soros bud, but what is being said and by many? It's not that she's a fraud. She's a commie. I dubbed Tulsi last year. I dubbed her the most dangerous Democrat in America because she is a full-on commie. But she's got a pretty face and an athletic body, and she was in the military, and people love her because, oh, she's just wonderful. I mean, Tucker goes gaga at her. No, she's a commie, just as much of a commie as Bernie is. And make no mistake, I'm not kidding. They are commie-crats. Commie-crats. They hate you. They hate me. They hate America. Tulsi may have served America in the military. Doesn't mean that she doesn't hate America. Doesn't mean that she doesn't want fundamental transformation. We got Jan Baldinger's voting for Funky Woo Kavina. All right. Colleen Dale says, wait, what do we do with the check? Mail it in? I don't know about you, but I think that one's suitable for framing because it's got Melania's signature right here that looks suspiciously like Donald's signature. Have you ever noticed that? Melania's signature is almost identical to Donald's signature. I mean, I know when couples get older, they start to look like each other, but do they start to sign their names like each other as well? I don't know. I just think it's kind of weird. Okay, let's see if there are any instructions. Let's see what the instructions are. Oh, it's a matching check contribution. Yes, I understand the critical need for Republicans to stand united going into the all-important November elections where we must do all we can To make sure that President Trump is reelected America's 45th president, that we maintain a majority in the U.S. Senate and regain our majority in the U.S. House. With the prospect of the Democrats winning the White House and potentially taking control of the government, it is crucial that we provide the RNC with maximum funding so that it can get the truth out about President Trump's accomplishments and our party's message of prosperity and opportunity for all Americans. I'm pleased to join you in making my commitment to re-elect President Trump and elect Trump majorities to the House and Senate today by enclosing my most generous contribution of $45 to help guarantee the re-election of Donald Trump as our nation's 45th president and Republican victories up and down the ballot. $90 to double the impact of my contribution. $135 to triple the impact of my contribution. Then there's a whole bunch of other check boxes. And then, let's see. Doesn't say what to do with the check, though. Doesn't say what to do with the check. So, a whole bunch of ways to give money. Lovely letter, personal letter from Melania, Friday morning. Friday morning. Letter from Melania, not written by Melania, but auto pen signed by Melania. And look at that signature. Now look at Donald Trump's signature. It's almost the same. Pretty weird. Let's see. Oh, matching her check for $45. So I guess you can send it back. My guess is that even if you keep the check, they're going to double your pledge. You know, that's what they've been doing with the 18,000 texts you get every day. Because you get one from Donald, you get one from the White House, you get one from Brad Parscale, you get one from Melania, you get one from Eric, you get one from Don Jr., and you get one from WinRed. Every day. 6 times a day. 12 times a day. 18 times a day. Crazy, crazy text messages. But it's always, you know, this day it's triple. This day it's, you know, donate $30 and get your limited edition Trump Gold Shamrock St. Patrick's Day whiskey tumblers, or, you know, whatever it is they've got going on. It's great retail politics. There's always a promotion going on. There's always a sale going on. It's always a double match, a triple match, a quadruple match. So, you know, if you're going to give judiciously. Don't give on a double match day. Give on a quadruple match day. And that's the way that politics works. I think the president has monetized his campaign more effectively than any candidate I've ever seen ever. This is an unbelievably well-oiled machine. I mean, right, they've got the data part of it. They've got the retail politics, touching voters, keeping people engaged. He literally signed his re-election paper, you know, submitted his re-election papers the day he took the inauguration. So all of these rallies have been official campaign events. It's just been, it's really been impressive how a businessman has come in and put industry marketing principles, product marketing principles to work. Remember what he used to do with The Apprentice? He'd have a team, and he'd tell them what their product was. Okay, your job is to raise money. You're going to have a charitable event, and you're going to raise money for a charity. And whoever raises the most money, that team wins. And that charity's going to get the money. Or, you know, you go and you sell this product, and we're going to put you in touch with all of the marketing people, and they're going to give you all the marketing advice, and you position your product. And are you going to sell it in a push cart? Are you going to sell it in a kiosk? Or what are you going to do? Where are you going to locate? How are you going to sell it? How are you going to price it, etc.? He's taken all that body of knowledge and he's applied it to politics, and that's never been done before. So this is really, you know, it's the hats, it's the swag, it's everything, and it's really been phenomenal to watch. And he's applied the same business knowledge to the presidency, and that's why we've literally just gotten rid of so much red tape in the CFR, the Code of Federal Regulations. Just tens of thousands of pages of not only useless and redundant and unnecessary regulations, but regulations that actually hobbled the economy. Okay, the economy was going forward like it was in manacles. You know, the chain around the waist and the handcuffs to the chain and the manacles on the feet, so you could just kind of shuffle along. That was the economy with the regulations, and the president has taken off the manacles, and the economy is, you know, it's been jogging. It hasn't been in a full sprint, but hasn't been walking either. It's been jogging. And, you know, so what do they have. The only thing they have is to try to crater the economy, hence all this coronavirus nonsense. Look, doctors are saying that the majority of patients that contract COVID-19 either are asymptomatic or are so mildly symptomatic that they don't even think, doesn't even occur to them the fact that they might have COVID-19. This isn't a big deal. This isn't the, they're acting like this is aerosolized Ebola. Like if somebody sneezes on you and you contract this virus, within 5 minutes your eyeballs are going to bleed and your innards are going to melt. And yet that's not what this virus is. It's basically a cold with a high fever and a dry cough. The people most at risk are the same people that are most at risk for influenza and any of the other viruses. Okay? People with high blood pressure, people with COPD, people with other respiratory issues, people with compromised immune systems. Normal, healthy people, and don't listen to the numbers about, no, this one, the R0 is 3.4 because, this number and that number. It's like, well, if you've got millions of cases that aren't even reported, so if you're looking at the actual total population, the number is going to be, it's going to be 1 to 3% estimated, which is the same as the regular influenza. Okay? This isn't a superbug. This isn't ultra lethal. This isn't a reason to go out and buy every roll of toilet paper you can find. Although I did see one meme that was pretty funny, is why are people buying out toilet paper? Because if one people sneezes, 100 other people soil themselves. So maybe that's why they're all getting the toilet paper, the bottled water. It's crazy. The hand sanitizer. Look, people, hand sanitizer is basically a placebo effect. You're killing some germs, but it's more to make you think that you're doing something rather than actually doing something. Hand sanitizer is to good hygiene as doing a walk for cancer is to curing cancer. It's not really curing cancer, it's just making you feel as though you're doing something to help cure cancer. Okay? Same thing with the hand sanitizer. Wash your hands, warm water, soap, sing happy birthday to yourself twice. Ideally, you get a nail scrubber and you get under your nails and you scrub the backs of your hands too, but especially your palms. And if you're in a public bathroom and you wash your hands, number one, do not use a blow dryer. You wouldn't believe all the germs that those blow dryers spray around. Bathrooms with blow dryers are 10 times filthier in terms of microorganisms than bathrooms that use paper towels. So, if your option is to use a hand dryer, just wipe them on your pants, you're a lot better. And then, after you wash your hands, don't use your clean hands to turn off the faucets that you just turned on with your dirty hands. And don't go and open the door, because guess what? The reality is 7 or 8 out of 10 people don't even wash their hands. And they open that door. So ideally, you work it so that somebody coming in, you grab that door with your elbow and you don't even have to touch. Think of you're a surgeon, right? You're going to go out, you've washed your hands, they're all clean. Either they're dry from a paper towel, and if you have a paper towel, what you do is you take the paper towel, you open the door with the paper towel, and there's a bin right there, and you throw it in, and out you go. If there's no paper towel, you go out, pretend you're going into surgery. Okay? Oh, I'm clean. I'm scrubbed. You think I'm kidding, and I'm not. I took microbiology. I got an A in microbiology. We swabbed public bathrooms. We swabbed door handles. Look, the door handle in the bathroom is dirtier than the toilet seat, okay? There are more bugs on the door handle than there are on the toilet seat, and that's a fact. So, that's your personal hygiene thing. Wash your hands. Wash your hands a lot. Wash your hands before you touch food, before you start cooking food. Wash your hands after you cook the food and before you eat. Because if you're touching raw chicken, you're rinsing off the chicken and everything else. That's great. But now you got to wash your hands again because you don't know what bugs might have been on that chicken. Because this isn't just about COVID-19. This is about all microorganisms. This is just good basic personal hygiene. When you cough, you don't cough in your hand, you cough in your elbow. Same thing with sneeze. Okay? It's just basic hygiene. All you need to do with this coronavirus is exercise good judgment, good basic hygiene, get a good amount of sleep, stay hydrated, eat good food, take some vitamins if you need to, if you feel the need to. Most people don't. As a doctor at New York Medical College put it to me, Americans have the most expensive urine on the planet, because we take all sorts of water-soluble vitamins and then we urinate them right away. That's why when you take a vitamin B pill, it's pretty yellow after that. That's your vitamin B pill coming out. All right, that's all I got for you tonight. We're going to have more information. Please stay tuned for all the people that are helping us with MAGA Institute. Thank you. You can help us with MAGA Institute. Please go to MAGAinstitute.com and donate if you would like to support our effort. We got to finish building out the website, and Brooke and I have to get back to DC to be talking to people so that we can continue to further this effort. Thank you again to all the people that have been vetting candidates for us. If you would like to help vet candidates, get in touch with us, realmagainstitute@gmail.com. We'd love to have you on board. If there's anything else you want, just let me know here, and I will see you next time. Until then, God bless you. God bless these United States. Keep fighting the good fight.